Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. If you're new here, please subscribe, thumb up the video, share everywhere, including your YouTube community tab. Please and thank you.
It's showtime.
All right. We're going to be talking about Toni Braxton. There's allegations of bleaching. The problem with the internet, people don't do research, and that's cool. So it's not that Toni is bleaching, it's that Toni has a heart issue and she has lupus, which is unfortunate. Yeah, so with those two things, with the lupus, the main way you can tell you got lupus is the rash on the face. So the editing, the lighting of the skin, and the makeup and everything, that's basically to cover up the lupus. And she's always had, as far as her professional career, she's always had some type of like heart issue, which has kept her from performing. So a lot of not just bad decision making financially, but Toni's been the victim of the music industry. She signed a contract when she was younger while she was in college. It was a bad deal, and her record label didn't want to pay her. So when she started off in the late 90s, she had a lot of success, especially with her album Secrets. And she had, You're Making Me High, and she had the Unbreak My Heart. Well, Arista and LaFace Record, they didn't want to pay her. And while she's waiting to get paid, they didn't want to pay her. She unsuccessfully filed a lawsuit against them, and she had to file for Chapter 7 bankruptcy. And that was like the first of many situations where Toni Braxton was a victim of the industry.
Emotional damage.
Not trying to make light of the situation, we're just here to learn. So she filed Chapter 7 bankruptcy in the late 90s, and she went on and she was working and working, making money, but she also was fighting sickness, dealing with her heart issue. And with trying to work with Arista Records to get them to hold off on releasing her fourth album when she was pregnant, Arista Records was like, nah, we're going to drop this. And she was not able to properly promote it. So the industry, like a lot of people like TLC and a lot of artists in the early 90s, early 2000s, really before, I'm going to say 2018-ish, the music industry was chewing people up and spitting them out and not caring about them. And because you had to go through gatekeepers, because you had to go through the industry to put out music and be in entertainment as far as a singer or rapper, people were at the mercy of the industry and getting screwed over. So now in 2025, you could take one of these bad deals, build a social media following, and then you can leverage that following when you renegotiate contracts or get a second deal or even be independent. But before social media, before you had an audience that you could engage with all the time, with no matter what project you're doing, you were at the mercy of the industry, and the industry took advantage. So Toni Braxton is sick. Industry is screwing her over, including, this is all alleged, including Barry Hankerson, who was her manager. She left Arista Records, signed with Blackground Records, was putting out music. He's screwing her over. Everybody was doing her dirty. And she ended up having to file a $10 million lawsuit against Barry Hankerson, alleging fraud, deception, and double dealing, and mismanaging her relationship with Arista Records. Well, they already didn't like you and they were doing you dirty. He just put oil on top of the fire that was already being flamed. And so Braxton's lawsuit against Hankerson said that he was putting personal financial interest ahead of hers by using double talk to compromise the relationship between Braxton and Arista. Basically telling Arista, Toni Braxton don't want to work with you, and telling her Arista don't want to work with her. And it's unfortunate that she's been the victim of the industry, because that's what caused her to have to file bankruptcy for the second time. So she has this heart issue called microvascular angina, and later on she's diagnosed with lupus, filing bankruptcy, can't get access to debt. She's having to rely on cash. That's the reason why she took a Vegas residency, which normally is for people who are like at the end of their career. She took the residency because she needed cash. She's having to like bring in a whole bunch of cash to pay her debt, to pay her bills, and she keeps getting screwed over by people and experiencing financial difficulties. And then even the insurance agency, Lloyd's of London, refused to honor her policy that she purchased. And they said, hey, the reason why we're not paying her is because she had a heart condition that she did not make us aware of. And Braxton later on came clean about it and had to file bankruptcy. So 2 bankruptcies. And it's not her fault for being sick. It's not her fault for being born when she was born and entering into the industry when she did. It's just that she made millions of dollars and she basically was receiving, we'll just say, pennies on the dollar for the money that she's making.
What? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's bad. It's really, really bad. And with her being the oldest of all her siblings and carrying the family, it's almost like a situation where she can't stop running the race because a lot of people depend on her. And even when there are different successes with social media and having reality shows, especially the one with Tamar, she needs cash, and she needs cash all the time. And so remember, Toni Braxton is 58 years old. She's getting close to the age where people normally retire. And she's almost trying to revamp her career doing reality shows, such as in 2021, she was on The Masked Singer. Reality shows is kind of like the bread and butter as far as bringing in cash flow, because the music industry, it just hasn't been positive for her, even though she's had all this commercial success. So doing different antics on social media with Tamar Braxton and Baby. I don't know if you all saw the verses where it was No Limit versus Cash Money. Personally, I thought it was history, but I didn't like the songs that they used, and I guess they were kind of limited in their options as far as Cash Money. I think Baby wanted to be on every song. Baby or at least the big timers, and of course they had Juvenile was carrying everything, but there's a lot of like music in the Cash Money catalog they couldn't use because Lil Wayne didn't want to show up because Baby is shiesty. Baby is petty. And you see the way he did Turk.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it was horrible. But unfortunately, with Toni Braxton doing social media antics, doing reality shows, this is basically the way to go in her future. This is her way of kind of hanging on. So the bleaching is really just makeup, in my opinion. I don't know. But I think the makeup or the alleged bleaching is just covering up the lupus and with lighting. And she's trying to make herself look younger because she's constantly trying to extend her run when she's been at the end of her rope for a while, unfortunately. So this is courtesy of Media Takeout. Toni Braxton's new video has fans talking. Singer appears noticeably lighter, sparking debate about skin tone and beauty standards. And fans are talking about how different she looks. They're focused on it being possible colorism, but not doing their homework to realize that she more than likely is covering up lupus. And you got the lighting. And it's not a situation like Megan Good or Lil Kim, where they're bleaching their skin to appeal to a certain demographic. Fans say Toni looks much lighter than usual. And that's the narrative everybody's running with. Toni, who has always been known for her rich caramel brown complexion and timeless beauty, appears several shades lighter in the video. All right, so here's the video in question. It's a private event. Lap singing and all. Yeah, so to me, I mean, people are talking about she looks lighter, she's bleaching. I don't think so. I think it's just the lighting that was there, and maybe even the using the makeup. But I think it's primarily the lighting. Because when somebody has, let's say, a skin issue and they want to put makeup on the so-called area, they have to unfortunately cover everywhere that's exposed so it looks even. But I think it's mainly the lighting, and that's pretty much it. All right, so this was in October, right after the verses of No Limit versus Cash Money, where No Limit basically won. People were like speculating, why was Toni Braxton out there? There's been like rumors saying that Tamar used to date Birdman and maybe she's trying to make a move on him. Here's my take before we play this. I think that Toni, she's sick, like I just laid out. Lupus, heart issue. She's sick. She doesn't have time to run up behind Birdman like she would like to. So I believe that Toni sent Tamar to spy on Birdman. So when Tamar is like wiping sweat off of his head, telling him to hydrate, that was Tamar's way of letting Birdman know, I'm here and I'm watching you.
What the heck?
And the reason why I say that is because, I mean, just look at the history. So Toni Braxton started dating Birdman May 2016. They announced an engagement February 2018. In January 2019, they called off the engagement. April 2019, they're talking about they're still together. Then they broke up at the end of 2019. Then November 2023, Toni posted that they were dating again. Then August 8th, 2024, the couple got married. 2 weeks later, Toni filed for divorce. She later dismissed the filing January 2025. So their relationship is rocky, more than likely toxic. For whatever reason, it's toxic. Birdman is known for being toxic. Toni's known for being impulsive, indecisive, listening to what other people say, and it's more than likely that she was chasing up behind Birdman. This is just my opinion. I could be wrong, but Birdman is not really a good mate. Toni is not willing to accept that because she wants someone on her level. She wants to be a wife. She wants to settle down. It's just that she's not really having any luck because she's sick, because she has to constantly work. She doesn't have time to really vet anybody, and Birdman is exciting to her. So that's who she's choosing to be with. And Tamar was sent, in my opinion, to be a spy. All right, let's watch this.
Hey,
You killed it, man.
baby, I was trying to go crazy. I wanted to
No,
call
the
him.
nigga, Toni, the nigga was the #1 trending topic. I tried to tell him, I showed him. He don't know what that is. I'm like,
I don't know that.
bro, you the #1 trending topic in the world. Well, bitch, come on, Toni Braxton, bitch.
Look at her. She thinks she's
Bitch, you
too
look
beautiful.
good, Fed.
Talk TV.
Woo!
Stop.
Bitch,
Stop.
you
Stop.
look
good. You
Stop
got to.
acting like you all that, baby. Because
No,
you
don't
is
say
all
that because
that.
she is all
No,
that.
she is all
Look at
that.
that big old beautiful house you done bought my sister.
She all that. She all that. You all that.
Look at that rich background on the background.
Yeah, she like that.
Thank
Huh?
you.
You
Okay,
like that?
So
About
Swiss
that.
had, wait a minute, so Swiss had told him
Swiss
he
say-
was like he was like outside of the United States. He was
Bitch, you
like
look
in the
good.
world. It was the biggest versus ever.
Oh, I would think so. Of course it was.
I'm so happy for
Look
you,
at
brother.
her.
I
She's
love
so
you
pretty.
so much.
Look at this look.
You see how Toni just sounds nonchalant, monotone. She's uninterested. And the reason why there's a camera pointed at the phone while they're doing this whole thing, in my opinion, they were doing this to help trend online, to hopefully springboard this into trending, like Tamar was saying, to get another reality show.
Look at
That's your
this
wife.
one.
Look at how.
What?
No, the Lord love you a lot.
Y'all know. For to
Look.
give me that,
And then give you this.
you dig what
And
I'm
then
saying?
all that.
Hey,
Give me
TV,
some of that. Give me some of
yeah,
that.
TV, stop playing. You look too good. You gonna get somebody killed.
Well, she at home.
I know.
Bro, you gotta chill. She at home.
She at home. Well, that's a fact.
That's
Look
not
how cute she
who's
look.
sitting at home looking like Toni Braxton?
Look
But
how
Toni
cute she
Braxton,
look.
yeah.
Lord.
All right, so this was like a publicity stunt, and I think that Toni sent Tamar to spy on Baby, and also to do this publicity stunt. They talked Toni into it. That's why Toni seemed like she was uninterested, didn't really care. Birdman and Tamar are running a play. Tony's kind of like, I don't really care. I'm just doing this because I need the money. Yeah, and that's the rest of the video. And I mean, look how Toni dresses, elegant, nice, at home or whatever. And then look at Baby, sagging his pants. He's basically like a man in his 50s, dressing like a teenager, trying to hang on to the little that he has. Yeah, Birdman is 56. He's going to be 57 February next year. And he's dressing like he's a teenager, sagging his pants. So yeah. So as far as the bleaching, I'm going to say it's a no. That it's basically just covering up the lupus, lighting, makeup, and all that. And Toni's just trying to hang on to what she can to stay relevant and entertain. And social media is the way to go. And that's why she's subjecting herself to the publicity stunts and entertaining Tamar and her shenanigans. So what do you think? Let me know in the comment section your thoughts. Thumb up the video, share to your social media, subscribe, click the notification bell. Thanks for watching. Go forth, do great things, and I'm out. Peace.